Hi, I've not made videos in a while because of reasons, but something has finally woken me up out of my depression nap by shocking me to my core, and now I have to tell everyone about it. Or rather, warn everyone. Babylon's Fall is made by Platinum Games and published by Square Enix. It was first announced in June 2018, 4 years ago, with the vaguest trailer one could imagine. Then, in December 2019, we got our first look at it, and it had the familiar Platinum flair of spectacle fighter gameplay, and overall, it looked pretty neat. I was looking forward to it. Then everything went wrong. The game went silent until E3 2021 re-revealed the game as a live service co-op multiplayer game, including a new art style that looks blurry and hard to read. This trailer's in HD. Seriously. God, it just looks so awful. Look at it. Oh. The trailer was just constructed awfully as well. I mean, look at this. Listen to this. Reception was very, very negative. But it's too late to course correct. Square Enix has failed twice already to make its own live service game, but damn it, they're gonna try again! This brings us to February 25th, when Square Enix decided to win people back with a demo that would carry progress over to the main game. Good job nothing else was coming out that day that would overshadow it! Well, I was a chump who bought Elden Ring physically, so I decided to play it while I waited for the postman to deliver my copy of the game. You know, check it out, see how much it's improved from the network tests. I regret this decision. I hope you're ready to fight your first boss immediately, because the hardest enemy in the game will immediately attack you after pressing start on this menu. The Square Enix ID system. You have to log in with a Square Enix account in order to play this game. Also, this didn't record properly, so I'm having to just recreate this on the website. First I thought, surely I must have made an account with Square Enix at some point, but if I did, I couldn't remember it. Okay, I'll just make an account then, after filling out multiple fields. Okay, it's not actually that many, but try doing it on a DualShock. The confirmation email informed me my email already had an account. What? Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Oh, now I have to hunt down some old accounts somewhere. There is no offline mode. You cannot even just go through on your PlayStation account. You need to make a Square Enix account in order to play. I haven't had to put up with nonsense like this since the Konami ID system for Metal Gear Online in 2008! If you're wondering why I've spent so long talking about this is allegedly a demo. They want people to be won over by this, and I spent half an hour just trying to get past the start screen. Eventually I got in. Right, pick a class. This game tells you to read carefully because it can't be changed later, for some reason. Thing is, everything's really vaguely worded, but I guess the big armor class will use big smashy weapons? I can understand that language. Also, you can't change body type later. I also don't know why. I make the character, I name them with the first thing that comes to my mind, and away we go. We're treated to a nice cutscene where I and a bunch of prisoners are being transported on a ship. At least, I think so. The cutscene really is this dark, and I haven't had the option to change the brightness yet either. Oh, but don't worry, we're shuffled off outside and get to look at everything in the bright world out here, and oh dear. Oh, this game does not look good, especially with this paintbrush filter. No, your computer screen isn't dirty, it really looks like that. It's like a transparent texture over the camera, and when you move, it moves along with you. Oh, it looks awful. Characters don't look great either across the board. Actually, they kind of look like Dragon's Dogma characters, don't they? Side note, isn't this kind of a weak title drop? I look up at the sky and it sort of appears. Just something I noticed. Alright, I'm going to level with you here. I don't understand the story of this game. It throws so many nouns at you that the game barely explains that I have no idea what anyone is saying. I blame Destiny for popularizing this method of storytelling. We do get explanation for this later, but that's much later, and it means I barely have any idea what's actually happening here and now. We're prisoners, but we're celebrated because we're going to be selected to be things called Sentinels to attack Babylon, to save everyone who lives here. 3 of us survived the back thing trial. That's the gist of it for now. Time for gameplay. If you've played a third-person action game, you kind of already know how this controls, especially anything made by Platinum. Lock-on was L1, that's kind of weird, but you can change it, it's fine. I like it when games give you that option in console games, it's good. I can be nice to the game. Oh, and who's talking, by the way?
Never you mind. It's not exactly the time for explanations.
Oh, the thing on my back is a fantasy radio. Okay, but then why can I hear those partners of mine as if they're standing right next to me?
Heroes? Cut this shit! Who the hell do you think you are, ordering us around like?
I thought this was to do with co-op for a second, but you can only do this mission solo, and in co-op people play their own characters, not those two who are actual story characters. It's weird. Also, why are they talking to me while I'm fighting? This is one problem which does not aid me in helping me understand. Dialogue will happen while I'm fighting and it's impossible to concentrate on it. It's actually kind of frustrating. I'm trying to fight here. Also, the voice acting is not very good.
Saturnus Gate. Open. We've got sentinels coming through.
Galu from the skies!
The end times! The end times are here!
Anyway, I wasn't doing particularly well at the combat here, getting stone ranks at the end like it's my first time playing Bayonetta or something.
Oh, what a day!
My hammer is quite slow, so I'm trying to work out how best to use it, and my sword isn't quite as punchy as I'd like. But then I fight a big boss at the end, and he's easier than all the enemies I've been fighting. His attacks are really easy to dodge, and I don't take any damage in the encounter at all. But midway through you're stopped so you can be harassed by this ghost lady.
This is not your time.
I know, I was kicking that guy's ass. The Ghost Lady unlocks your backplate powers, allowing you to swing 2 more weapons at the same time. So now I can kill him even quicker. Yay! This is the basics of the combat system, and you know, I quite like it. It's fun and satisfying to use. I hope nothing will upset this later. Right, there's a cutscene next that actually explains some things, but can I just point out how annoying it is that the subtitles aren't centered and go all the way to the edge of the screen?
Rages around the ziggurat of Babylon to this day.
Wait, a second title card? Did you think I forgot what game I was playing in that time? What? Oh god, this is some of the worst parts of the game. There are these cheap still frame cutscenes in the Tavern after every mission. Sometimes they animate them, if they want to. You know, the still frame stuff isn't too bad. Bayonetta did it too, but I cannot stand this music. It just repeats over and over again, blaringly loud for every single one of these cutscenes, and it doesn't even sound like it fits a tavern. It's like I'm in a Parisian cafe or something. If I have to keep hearing this, I'm going to scream! Back into the game. Yay, a login bonus. Hey, do you like being reminded how much time you have left to complete the game season pass? Well, there it is. In your face, forever. Don't get that FOMO! We spend ages meeting characters now. Every dialogue is torturously long and slow, and we're just going to skip over this. I've heard so many British accents, I'm beginning to hate my own voice. Oh, but don't forget to meet the real money shopkeeper. We give you a long talk with him. Buy those microtransactions. Ah! Finally, the true Babylon's fall begins here. I've entered solo, you know? Square says you can play it that way. So, let's have a nice time here. Wow, my attacks are doing almost nothing. And these enemies are hardly staggered by my attacks? What's going on here? Here's the thing. The game is always balanced for co-op. So if you're playing solo, the game's enemies always have their health as if you were playing 4-player. This is unlike the first mission, where they have much less health because you have to do that part alone. I feel like I've been bait and switched here. This means every fight is arduously drawn out, made so much longer just because each and every enemy feels like trying to eat a full-course dinner. Now, it does get better when you're using all 4 of your weapons simultaneously. I had to learn that my spectral hammer does good damage if I fully charge it, then otherwise it's... Even then, it's so long, it's so boring, especially just because there's so many copy-pasted enemies everywhere. Also, you get moments like this. I picked up an artifact. This lets me do special things to aid in combat. Look, I slowed time in this area. That's useful. But wait, it took over the slot with my hammer? That's my main damage dealer. And now I'm struggling massively to fight these guys, and the stupid microtransaction shop owner is talking while I'm trying to play. Please shut up! I should have just discarded it, but you think, no, it might be useful. The game gave it me and said it was useful. Why would I discard it? I should have. It's also a good time to talk about how the level design is the most boring I've ever seen in a game. It's just arena, corridor, etc. Forever. For every single level. It is beyond monotonous on just the first level. And the areas are all copy-pasted revisions of the same areas. I was going back through a level I had just gone through at one point. What is this, Dragon Age 2? Occasionally there's little chests hidden away. That's basically all the exploration that the game allows. Well, the game told me that there's more secret stuff in the game at one point, but we'll talk about that later. I just got hurt by the obstacle I was swinging over. I had no control over that. That damage was unavoidably inflicted on me. And then the game did it a second time in a row!
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Same here. I probably should have just stopped by now. Here's the big boss. It's a regular enemy, just bigger. I beat him, just about, and then plunged myself into the sweet embrace of no, I'm not allowed. Don't forget your loot! Okay, it's another tavern scene. I'm not going to repeat myself on this, but actually important story appears here. The characters discuss their backstories, and the main reason I think we're here is brought up. We want to extinguish the blue sun because it's causing this blue death disease. That's why this guy's face is messed up and this guy's face is presumably messed up. We don't actually get to see it. That's for later, I guess. Let's not question it because the music is actually destroying my brain. Right, I equip myself up and I swallow my pride. I hit quick match. It's time to do this in co-op, baby! So how does it compare to the solo experience? Firstly, I think there's some lag now. It seems to take the enemies a second or so to react to my heavy smashes. That's really weird and not good. It doesn't feel good in the brain. Secondly, thanks to there being more players, the time taken in fights is so much faster, and it's all actually so much easier. How much easier? In the first mission, I used all my potions. I never used a potion in this or the next mission. The co-op makes things so much easier, but that's not a good thing. The game has gone from a torturous slog to a mind-numbing button-mashing fest. It's gone from bad to boring, which is maybe an improvement? Maybe an upgrade? I wouldn't brag about it, though. I can't even see what's going on, too. Is the enemy attacking? I don't know. I don't know when to dodge. But I guess it's okay. I don't need to. What the fuck is going on? Also, players will just sprint through these levels, so no exploration allowed. I was told in one level about hidden areas and I should listen to my backplate tingling, but no, there's no time for it. Full sprint. Look here. I stopped to help some guy who was lagging behind to get a treasure chest. Then the guys who rushed off ahead just started the boss fight of the level, and we were teleported over. I have not edited this footage, It really just went like this. Yeah, the next part went exactly how you expect. I got an annoying tavern scene, I re-equipped my new loot, I did the next mission, I got another tavern scene, I got my loot. Let's speed things up a bit. The game has become horribly repetitive and I've only done a few missions. Hey, how far through on the season pass am I after 3 missions? 150 BP? I need 1,000 to get to level 1 and I'm getting 50 for every one of these long and boring missions? Oh my god, did anyone think this was fun to play? Just a reminder, this game that asks you to buy premium currency, has a premium battle pass, is also a full-priced boxed release. This isn't a free-to-play game. There's free-to-play games that are more fun and rewarding than this. But now we move on to the final mission. I decided to hit quick match, as that's what I had been doing. But it put me in on an earlier mission with only one other person. Whoops. Let's just get out, and I'll host my own party. Let's wait for people to join. It's actually kind of annoying because you can't access anything when you're just waiting in a party like this. It's a wonder really why they didn't just make it like a lobby menu or something. Wait, why did it just start? Oh, I guess I'm doing this boss solo because I couldn't find anyone to join. There's a timer, you see, on looking for a party before the game just throws you into the mission anyway. Oh god, that means I have to beat this boss all on my own. It's not difficult, but boy is it tedious. I do so little damage. So little. At one point, he wedges himself in a corner and I'm just wailing on him, but I can barely see where I am or what I'm doing because of where we are. He turns super at one point and it just makes dodging his attacks really hard because you just end up dodging into his other attacks. This boss, by the way, was in that early trailer. That early one that looked really good. And now here I am. The actual experience of it is just terrible. It's heartbreaking. You can tell, by the way, that that trailer was for a completely different game. There's all these shots of, like, slow motion that happen after attacks, so they're integrated into the gameplay. It's not like trailer trickery or anything like that. But that would have been impossible to do in a multiplayer game. But if it was single player, it would function as a little bit of a dopamine hit, like, yeah, look how cool your attacks are. We've seen there is slow motion, but it works in bubbles and not like this. Also, there's this whole shot of stealing the boss's weapon, which doesn't happen, and how would that work in multiplayer? Would we all have to share it? I wish I had this game instead of the one I'm currently playing. I'm not sure when the idea for multiplayer occurred to them. I mean, there's 4 characters here, but the gameplay just suggests single player? I don't know. Watching this trailer, I feel like this was a single player game, and then someone, whether it was at Platinum or at Square Enix, just said, we need this to be multiplayer now. And this is the result. Oh, back to the boss fight I'm ignoring. But it's not just terrible and heartbreaking, it's also completely unfair! The boss has an MMO-style super move, where the game tells you must destroy the blue swords in the center to stop an arena-wide attack from hitting you. And it's physically impossible to do this while solo. I could not do enough damage at all to stop it. But I guess it doesn't matter, because it didn't do that much damage anyway. It's weird, it feels like a party wipe attack, but it just doesn't. It takes me nearly 10 minutes of just wailing on him again and again before I finally beat him. Somehow, despite using all my potions, that's worth a pure platinum medal? I wish I could say that this game was a pure platinum, but it's awful. Oh, and then plot stuff happens. Our friend turns bad because of the magic stuff on his back, and it's treated really seriously and sincerely, but I barely know the guy. Platinum, please. Nia was 5 years ago. Please move on. Taro is busy. You used to be so much more fun. And the acting was better too. Jesus.
Damn, he got away.
even by the standards of live service games, even live service games Square Enix has put out, this is a train wreck. An unfun, unjustifiable slog where you have the choice of being bored or feeling like your time is being wasted. I'm glad this was a demo though, and I never actually bought this thing, and I warn everyone to stay away from this disaster. Nothing else needs to be seen or said about Babylon's Fall. This is not the game anyone wanted from Platinum Games. I also hope they can survive this game flopping, because dear God, no one is excited for this. What is with Square Enix publishing the worst games of the year every single year? What is going on over there? Is it a competition? Well, if so, here's your prize.
Oh, what a day!
Oh no, I did too well. I need to re-record it.